Alright, so today we're going to talk about the Hadaka-jime, probably the #1 choke in all of the AOKA Ishinryu. I tend to prefer the guillotine, but not by much. It's a devastating choke, right? It's a game-ending choke. So the concept of a guillotine choke, and when we think choke, there's two kinds of chokes. There's an air choke, where we're blocking off the air, and there's a blood choke, right? So we have two arteries here that we'll call the carotid arteries, right? On Jimmy, they're here and they're here. Now the point of this choke is to take my bicep and place it against this carotid artery, and take my forearm and place it against this carotid artery. So you'll note, I'll come here, this will come here, right, and we'll press it now. Once we get here, right, the next step is to take this hand, we place it in the slot here in our arm. This comes up, and this comes here, right? And then what we do is squeeze. Okay, that's the basics of the choke. Now, a couple of nuances to this, right? So Jimmy and I are sparring, right? And he comes and he punches, right? And I happen to get here, like you'll always notice. I'll grab here, I might grab here, I might pull down, right? All of a sudden I come in here. Now the nuance here, there's a couple of nuances. Once I get here, I'm like, I'm on the promised land, right? This is half the battle. If I can get this, I'm great. Now, next step, it's not to lock in the choke, right? The next step is about his center mass, right? Because if I get here, and I come around, and I'm leaning forward, what Jimmy's going to do is grab onto my arm and pull, like, and now it's a fight. And you know, one of the counters to this is taking and grabbing this arm here and here, and then hitting with the hips and throwing me over, right? Like this. Throw. I would save Jimmy from demonstrating that throw, right? So when I come through here, you'll notice I get here. This hand goes right against the middle of his back, right? And then I do this. Right, so now all of a sudden, once again, 3 centers of gravity, they're out of alignment. Now after I push here, I almost typically take this foot and put it between his legs, right? Because I'm going to keep his weight here. Now once I get here, I can lock here. Right, so this goes here, and then I can choke. Now, after that, the #1 defense that Jimmy's got is if we get here, Jimmy's in a load of trouble, right? So there's one technique that Jimmy's got that he might be able to pull, and that's take this hand, spray back, and try and get it right in my eyes, right? So typically what we do is we come here, we take his head, and we pin it in here, from here. And you'll notice, as I pin in here, a lot of times, I kind of cheat. I don't stand here. I might do this, I might do this, I might do this, I might do this. Keep them all off balance. It's only a matter of time. He's got about 5 seconds, and he's done, right? And he's done. So, now, from a standing position, there's a couple of things that we can do. The first thing we can do on this technique is don't get in a technique to begin with. So Jimmy comes to choke, right? The first thing I do is grab, right? Now, as I grab, he's trying to get this elbow here. I'm going to resist here. I'm going to grab. Second motion is take it, spin my head sideways, right? Right? Easiest way, not get in this. So I spin here, I clear, I pin my chin to the throat, and so now we're fighting. Now if I can, a lot of times, like the throw that Jimmy didn't show you, is I might just drop to my knees and go drop, say now I can put this. Right? Sometimes that works. It's not a fail-safe. So the other technique is like here, I pin here. Now the other small technique, sometimes it works. It helps a little bit. Take your tongue, press against the roof of your mouth. I come here, and now we're fighting. Once he locks in, right, I can go for the eyes. If he's locked in, I can go for the eyes. There's a couple of other techniques. Let's call this a prayer technique, where I can reach back on the back of my head. You notice this hand is here. If he's not careful, I can grab the fingers and I can pull off. I can slide, but that's the typical from a stand. Now, when we do this from the ground, I lock in, so I come in here, I'm Hadaka-jime, right? I got this here, I've landed on his back, we rolled, so typically what this will be is if he shoots as a single leg, you know, he's a wrestler, right? And I have him guillotine, right? I'll sprawl, and I'll get here. Now, once I get here, you'll notice chest to chest. This is bear fundamental number 1. I spin, I'm here, right? I get the choke, right? If he gets up, right, I roll here, and now I'm here, right? So the idea here is I take here, I pin here, and I choke. Now, that's the basic technique. Once we get here, there's actually 2 counters that Jimmy can try. So, Jimmy come from the rear, guillotine choke. So, he's here, right? The 2 techniques I can do is, number 1 here is to get the ball this foot, right? So if I'm here, he's here, I'll take this foot, I'll grab it here, and this is a prayer, right? So I want to take this part of the foot, and I want to put it right against my chest. So there's 2 motions. It's up and rotate. So I'm here, come here. Once I get here, I just pin this to my chest, and Jimmy, let's go. Now, the other technique is here, right, where he crosses his feet. Right, what I can do is take and reach here with this foot and try to cross this. Now, once again, my choke is here. I'm trying to, all I can, keep him off of me. This arc's here, this arc's here. Now, when Jimmy goes to pull, I arc. And I break. Now, last one. So, we just looked at the counters. So, if I've got Jimmy in this Hadaka-jime, right, and I'm here, you'll notice down here, I've got this Hadaka-jime, I'm in here, right? Jimmy's trying to get out, he's going to move to the side. I will lock in here, I will lock in here, but you'll notice I almost never do this. I don't want Jimmy to get a hold of my feet. So what I'll have a tendency to do is I'll sprawl out and I'll control. And then I'll just choke. And then Jimmy will get you a tap, and we're done. And that's how to land a Hadaka-jime and how to defend a Hadaka-jime. Remember, defending a Hadaka-jime, the number 1 way to defend it is don't let me on your back. That's the number 1 rule.